Hey everyone, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me reading your favorite thrillers. I have 3 physical books here and the rest I have to get on Audible or Hoopla. I actually posted back in the beginning of March asking for you guys to give me your favorite thriller recommendations, and so I could do a whole video on it. I have 6 that I was actually able to get. I sadly had to take 2 books off because I couldn't find them anywhere. Everywhere's closed because we're going through the pandemic right now. So you are seeing this on March 30th. So as I'm starting it, I don't know how long this is going to take because of my reading slump, but I'm hoping that thrillers will make me be able to get back into it because it's usually how it goes. So the first one on the list is The Whisper Man, and I was recommended to read this by Haley from Hale Reads, and this is what this looks like. Again, I really don't know too much going into these thrillers. I kind of like to know and sometimes I don't. All I know is it has to do with the creepy guy that whispers outside people's windows, and it sounds good. I'm excited to read it. I love the cover. And then the next one is Stillhouse Lake, and I'm really mad that I didn't pick this one up in my bookstore like a while back because it sounded really good, but at the same time I was like, don't know if I really want to get that. But I was given that recommendation by Ela. I'm really sorry if I butcher your name. I'm really bad at names. I'm able to read this on Audible, so I'm able to listen to it on Audible while I play Sims, stuff like that. It's not a long one, so I'm pretty sure I'll hopefully be able to get through that. Next one is Pretty Girls, and I was recommended this by Steph, and that one I actually have physical, and I'm kind of scared to read this because I feel like Karen Slaughter books are just so in-depth, and this is such a small font, so I'm really hoping this doesn't make me slumpy or whatever it may be, because I've heard so many different things about Karen Slaughter books, so I'm really hoping I enjoy it. The next one is The Silent Patient. I was told to read this by Angel Cakes Reads on Twitter, and I actually have been wanting to read this one, but I've been kind of hesitant because it's been very popular and liked. I can read that one on Audible as well. The 6th book for this is Behind Her Eyes, and that I was told to read by Diviner Dreams, and I actually have this one physically. I'm pretty sure I bought this book outlet a while back. I'm not really sure, but I know about this book mainly because of Books and Lala, and everybody else is actually starting to read this now. I've heard many different reviews. I really don't know too much about it going into it, but I'm still really excited nonetheless to see how this goes. So those are my books that I'm going to attempt to read. Now, I'm not going to be afraid of DNF because that's the only way I get through books and book slumps, which I'm in right now, even though I DNF books. But I'm going to try and not to DNF because usually I'm okay with thrillers. I really do like my thrillers, so we'll have to see how this goes. So let's get reading. Hey guys, I'm doing my first update on my books that I'm reading. Currently, I started my first one, and I picked The Silent Patient, and I was told to read this by Angel, and so far I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm listening to this on audio, so I'm listening to it on Audible, and I'm so far really enjoying it. It was the shortest one, so I wanted to start off with the shortest one. It was 8 hours. And so far, I am about an hour and 17 minutes into it. I listened to it while I cleaned my room a little bit. I listened to it while I was cleaning my makeup brushes and stuff like that. So I've really been enjoying it. It's not bad. It gives me the patient vibe from Jasper Dewitt's arc that I read from ALA. I talked about that in my last month wrap up, and I really enjoyed it. And it just gave me similar vibes to it because it's kind of the same kind of plot, I guess you could say, but it's going differently. And usually I don't like reading audiobooks that have people with accents, but this I'm actually able to be okay with. The accents are actually kind of soothing in a way, and I just like how they talk. It's very calming, even though the topic is about psycho patients in a psycho hospital. So either way, anyway, I kind of went into this book not knowing what it was about, but I read it a little bit beforehand. So it's about this girl named Alessia. I really don't know how to pronounce her name. She apparently murdered her husband, and they were really big into art, and so now she no longer speaks, and so she went to this place called the Grove, which is a hospital for the mentally ill, and this guy has been following her case and then started working there and is trying to help her, I guess you could say. That's as far as I know, about an hour and 17 minutes into it. So far it's really good. Again, it's giving me those vibes of the patient because the guy there got a job at this mental hospital to help this patient that nobody else could help. And it's kind of similar vibes to that, but the patient would speak and maybe people kill themselves. And in this book, it's kind of different because at the end, you're going to I guess it's going to all come together on what happened and why she's the way she is. At least I feel like that. That's my hypothesis at this point on what could possibly happen in the end. But I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts and opinions and give you guys an update on what I'm reading. And so far I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm really surprised because I've been in a reading slump. But I'm going to try and listen to this as I play Sims and just kind of go about my day and stuff like that. So that's all I really have to update you guys on for tonight and what I'm reading right now. So I'll let you guys know how this goes. Hi guys, so I wanted to come and give you an update on my thoughts on The Silent Patient because I just finished it. I gave it a 3 stars. It was not as thrillery as I wanted it to be. I was going into this thinking it was gonna be like super spooky and scary, but like honestly, it was just more something like fuck with your head. And again, I said it reminded me a lot of The Patient by Jasper Dewitt, and it stuck that way, but even towards the end. But honestly, I feel like The Patient did it much better, even though they were very similar in plots and stuff like that. It was just very like not. It was very anticlimactic, and I just feel like you were able to guess what was gonna happen by the end. And even like halfway through it, like last night, I was able to kind of like start pinning ideas on what could possibly happen and like who was the killer and all that kind of stuff. So I was basically right by the end. I probably didn't even need to finish the book to know that I was right. So I gave it a 3 stars. It was very anticlimactic, but it was, I guess, a good way to start this reading vlog. I hope that the other ones are a little bit better. I was kind of like hesitant on starting that one too because it's been so popular, and now I'm not really understanding why it's been so overhyped and so popular, because it wasn't even that great. I hate to say that because this is Angel's favorite book. She told me to read it. But just in my opinion and like my thrillers that I like to read, I like reading like spooky ones that really like get into your head and freak you out. And that just wasn't one of them. It was just very like calming. I really did like the audio book narrator's voice. It was very calming and I really liked it, and they got really like dramatic with it. They got really into it, which I think was a good audio narration, because I don't usually hear that, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks and usually they all kind of piss me off, but like this one I could just listen to them talk forever, and that's probably why I was able to finish it in like 2 days. Not even, literally almost finished that like in a day. And it was like an 8-hour audiobook too, which I don't know, I just kept listening to it, and every time I had nothing to do, I just like listened to it. So I was enjoying my time listening to it. So I have a few more books obviously that I need to read. I don't really know what I'm going to start now. I kind of am in the mood for like romance now that I just finished that really kind of crappy thriller, but I'm not too sure. Obviously I'll update you guys on what I'm reading next. I'll probably start a physical book and maybe an audiobook at the same time, just so I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's all I have for now, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hi guys, so I'm doing a little update on the book that I'm reading. I started Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Kane, and I am about 32 minutes into it. So far I don't really have like an opinion on it too much, and this is just kind of building the plot right now. It's taking a much different turn than the last book that I read. Hi! But it still kind of focuses on like domestic violence and domestic thrillers, and that's kind of what this book is about, and them kind of being on the run. So far of what I know is about this mom and her kids, and her husband basically like killed people, or killed these girls in the beginning of the book. And sorry if that's a spoiler, but he killed people in the beginning of the book, and she comes home to her house like on fire, and so then they basically have to go like be on the run their entire life and change their name as every time they go. Husband I think is in jail and can have death penalty, but I think he has to wait 10 years or something like that. So they're kind of just like on the run living their lives, and I think something goes wrong and like they end up being caught, which is like kind of what the back of the book kind of gives you, is it makes it seem like they eventually get caught by somebody that they shouldn't be caught by. So that's all I really have right now. So far it's just a lot of like information and plot being thrown at you, and it's only a half hour in, and it's a 10-hour audiobook, so I'm probably not going to get much listening to it tonight because my mom's home. We're going to do a puzzle, so I'm probably just going to do that with my mom. And maybe tomorrow, if I play Sims at all, I'll probably listen to it some more, or just try to. I haven't picked up any of the other books physically. I was going to, but then I got distracted and decided against it. But I'm already on a roll. This is my 2nd book for the month, and I'm still in March, so there's that. But I'm going to go eat some dinner, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hi guys, long time no talk. So it's been a good like maybe week or 2 since I've updated you guys, talked to you guys about what I was reading. So as you guys know, I was in the middle of Stillhouse Lake or whatever it's called. I finally finished it today. I had like 3 to 4 hours left on audio that I just kept waiting and putting down. I don't know why, because like the book wasn't terrible. Like it was good. It was definitely better than the first book I think, which I honestly don't remember the first book that I read. And I was not expecting this whole entire Secret TBR to take this long. But apparently it's going to. The entire month of April, possibly even longer. So I finished that today, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely liked it a little bit more. The plot twists were kind of, you were able to guess that they were coming. So it was just kind of a little bit disappointing on that end. But I definitely did like the narration to it. You were able to like really imagine it in your head, and just the whole build up and like the background and the past and everything was really good with it. Like, it definitely did keep me entertained. Like, I wasn't really, like, bored per se with it. Like, there were some parts of it where I was just like, this is so pointless or whatever. But then towards the end, I was kind of like, oh, wow. I mean, that was kind of cool. Like, kind of liked it. So I think the only way that I probably would have gotten through that was through audio. But because I have those 2 books finished, I think I'm going to try and pick up another book physically. So I have Behind Her Eyes, and then I also have The Whisper Man. So these are both looking, actually, Behind Her Eyes looks a little bit smaller. For some reason, I really want to try this because I keep hearing more things about it. I just watched Boston's wrap-up, and she had just actually read it, and she liked it, so I kind of want to try this. I don't know if it's going to be too hard for me to read while not listening to it on audio. And then we also have The Whisper Man, which I've been really wanting to read as well, which this one kind of is, like, pulling me in a little bit more just about, like, the aspect of what it is, even though the font's really tiny. I haven't really been reading. I literally have only read 1 book this month. I'm, like, in a reading slump. It's just, I don't want to read. I'd rather be doing other things and keeping busy, I guess you could say, while I'm on quarantine. So I've just been doing a lot of, like, business stuff for my reselling. So I've mainly just been doing that and haven't, like, really watched any booktube. I've been watching a lot of dumpster diving videos and just stuff that relates to dumpster diving, thrifting, and all that kind of stuff. So I really had not been active with doing that. So that's all I have to update you guys on. I'm probably going to try and pick up one of those books. I might just go pick up both of them, take them downstairs, and see what I have. I also have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, but that book is just so intimidating. I don't really feel like reading it physically. I might try and see if I can find that on, like, audio or something. So that's really all I have. And yeah, so I'm gonna go try and read a little bit and we'll see how this goes. Hey guys, so it's been actually quite a while since I've talked to you and read my thrillers and have done this. It is currently June 24th, so I just finished another book for this long video. I just finished Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. So I started this back in May 26th, and then I kind of just put it down and started picking up other books. Actually, no, I wasn't even really picking up any books because I just got over my reading slump just this week, and so I've just been flying through books crazy. And so I listened to this on audio, and it looks so much shorter than it actually fucking was. Like, that was like a 10-hour audiobook. It's just, I give it a 4 out of 5 stars, but now that I'm thinking about it, like looking at other people's reviews, I kind of want to give it like a 3, just because, like, it took so long, and I just kept sitting there, like, trying to figure out what the fuck was gonna happen, and it's just, like, it was so exhausting, like, sitting here listening to the entire audiobook. I was just trying to get it out tonight, so that's also another part of the reason why I was exhausted, because I've been listening to it all day, and then it just took so long, and then once the final build-up happened, it was just, like, really? That's what fucking happened? Like, it was just so, like, underwhelming. I get it, it could be your favorite book, but for me, this just felt like it was, like, a waste of my fucking time. I'm probably gonna change my rating to, like, a 3 out of 5, just because this just, my brain can't even, like, comprehend it right now. Like, the whole, like, plot seemed like it was gonna be, like, an anonymous girl, or The Wife Between Us, actually, by Gura Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, which you guys know I love those authors. And it kind of felt like that when I first started it, because it's, like, a domestic thriller. But this was, like, more, like, psychological, in your fucking head, like, making you believe these things. And it's crazy. Like, it's good that I did that because that's what it's supposed to do. But at the same time, I just felt like I was wasting my time reading this. So I'm just kind of like, I don't want it. I'm over it. I am going to probably start my next audiobook tomorrow. Right now I'm in, like, this audiobook thing. I'm, like, just wanting to read audiobooks. I've not really been able to read physically. So I think tomorrow I'm going to start The Whisper Man by Alex North. I've been very, very intrigued by this one. I'm excited to read this one, and I hope that I will like it. Hopefully a lot more than freaking Behind Her Eyes and all the other books that I've been reading, because I feel like all of these thrillers have just been kind of very mediocre. And I don't typically always read thrillers either, but I feel like a lot of them have been very underwhelming and mediocre, but what can you do? So I have that yet to read, and then I have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, which I'm just kind of leaving this towards the end because I think this is the one I'm most intimidated by and the most, like, least interested in and worried about, because I don't know if I'm going to like it. But yeah, I have 2 more books left to read for this Reading Your Thrillers, and I can't believe this is going to be finally done soon. It's just, I hopefully will be able to knock out those books before this weekend ends, so this can be seen on YouTube at some point. So I'm going to go. I will update you guys tomorrow on my reading. Hi guys, so it is the next day since yesterday. I actually just finished another book. I have one more thriller to go, and I'm like completely checked out with thrillers right now just because they've been so disappointing. I just finished The Whisper Man by Alex North. I started this morning around like, was it like in the afternoon I woke up? So I started this morning. It's like a 9-hour audiobook, and I just finished it now at 11:16. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that being, I literally could not hold my attention to this book at all. It might be just because I wasn't in the mood to read a thriller today, or I don't know what it was, but I listened to this on audio. Obviously, it's how I've been finishing all my books recently, and I'm not going to stop because I've read 6 books in the last 5 days, and I'm pretty happy about that. That means I read a book a day. That's insane. I finished this, and it was okay. I liked the premise of it, basically, but the whole play out of the book, it just dragged and dragged, and listening to it on audio probably wasn't the best bet because the point of views were so fucking confusing. The same narrator narrated every single person and didn't like tell you when they were jumping, so you kind of had to like really listen to make sure you knew who was talking, and it was just kind of really confusing. And it was just in so many different point of views. First it'll be in one point of view, and then it'll be like inside of somebody else's head, and it's like so confusing. The one part that I did like is the outcome, I guess you could say. I liked the little boy and like him having his little best friend and finding out who his little best friend was, his little imaginary friend. Like that was really sweet. I really did like that part. The whole like the whole premise and the plot, like I didn't go into this knowing what it was about, and I guess I kind of like doing that with my thrillers now, kind of going into it not knowing what it's really about. Yeah, I mean it was okay. I definitely just kind of feel like I wasted my time with this, so I'm definitely going to be putting a hold on Pretty Girls because this is a 20-hour audiobook, and I do not have that in me right now to do that. I need to go listen to some like romance right now because I'm just kind of like checked out from thrillers with just digesting 2 thrillers in 2 days. So I'm probably gonna like take a break off this weekend, and I'll probably start fresh back on like Monday. Not too sure because I have like plans tomorrow, so I won't be able to get any reading done anyway. So I just wanted to come on here and explain The Whisper Man, and I don't know, I'm just like kind of disappointed. I really wish this was so much better, and I went into it thinking it was something different, but it was actually really creepy at times. I will say that when I was downstairs in my basement, I was pretty creeped out having to listen to this and hear them talk about like the eerie parts of their houses, and I was like, okay, please stop, I'm kind of scared. And that's like the only time that a thriller has actually freaked me out. I've never had a thriller do that to me before, so that's also part of the 0.5 in there. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to update you guys on. I'll see you when I read the next book. Hello guys, I am here to announce that I just finished my last book for reading your favorite thrillers. I just finished Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, and I am really glad that I left this to the end because it was the best book that I read out of all the books that I read. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, really enjoyed it. It really like grasped my attention. It kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time, so like I really enjoyed it, and definitely would suggest this one out of all the books that I read for this video. So I am not going to go through all the books that I read just because you guys saw my reaction, you heard me talking about all the books, but I just wanted to come on here and finally finish this video so it can finally be uploaded. This took months in the making, and I am so surprised that I was finally able to finish this now. So I finished. I'm so glad I am. So yes, 5 out of 5 stars for this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed this journey of a video and all of my different hair colors that you literally have seen through it. And yes, I did dye my hair again. Yeah, so just wanted to give you guys this final clip and to officially exit off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this crazy video. And if you did, give it a big like, subscribe down below, join the family, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.